Thank you very much. Before I present the details about our project, I'll just mention that I'm going to focus a little more about some of the technical aspects about our project for the simple reason...
I want to stand in front of the microphone so people can hear you, Pete.
Okay, is that a little better? I'm going to focus a little more about some of the technical aspects of our projects because some of the more detailed information about our corporate structure and our strategies going forward will take a little longer than a couple of minutes conversation. So I implore you, if you want to know more details, please come to our booth and speak to either myself or our new CEO, Rob Longley, or our non-executive director, Pauline Gately, who's got vast experience in the lithium industry. So, without further ado, compulsory disclaimer. Okay, so just a brief review of who we are if you're not familiar, and you can follow that up further. And essentially you're probably asking the question, who are we, what are we doing, why should we invest? And in simple terms, we've essentially got quite a nice exploration package of diverse projects covering lithium and gold. Our exposure to gold is proving to be an asset in what is currently a fairly difficult time for the lithium market, but that doesn't in any way diminish our intent to extract value from our lithium projects. We've assembled a team in country in Canada and of course in Australia to progress our plans and to deliver a result for shareholders, and we've got some cash at hand to do so. So where are our projects? We're in northwest Ontario, and you're probably wondering why is a West Australian company or based in Western Australia in Canada, and it's basically because we see this as being a place that's geologically attractive, it's a secure jurisdiction, and we see this great exploration potential. We have 4 gold prospects clustered around Pickle Lake, in which we own either 100% or we're earning into 100% in the very short term. And we have 3 lithium projects, the one which has received a bulk of attention, which you've probably heard more about, which is Seymour Lake. Now I'm going to start talking about more in detail about the gold projects, because in the very short term that's where our attention is going to be focused. And part of the appeal is that if you look at that slide, you can see pristine wilderness, which while being very pretty, is also very challenging for exploration. Now, in simple terms, if it's hard to see the ground, it's hard to know what's there. Solution, you drill. And of course there's been drilling done, but in this kind of environment where you've got difficult climates, you've got difficult topography, and you've got lots and lots of trees, then it takes a little bit longer to do things. Now I see northwest Ontario as being quite similar to how Western Australia was in the late 80s, early 90s. And there's a lot of areas that have great potential that are underdone. So within the Pickle Lake Gold Project, there's been some past producing mines, and they've been excellent producers, high-grade gold, good tonnes, and the projects which we have experienced some historic drilling and have had very encouraging results, which confirm for us the potential for excellent mineralisation that can prove to be really substantial deposits. Lots of exploration upside also. Now looking at that map there, typical Archean granite greenstone terrain. Essentially if you take the Yilgarn Craton and turn it on its side, that's northwest Ontario in general. Very similar geology except for the orientation slightly different. Now you can see our projects occur in 2 groupings. Got Dorothy Dobie on the east. Whoop, wrong one. There we go. There's Dorothy Dobie, on strike from the Golden Patricia. Good grade. Then we've got the Pickle Lake group up here, clustered around Pickle Lake, Pickle Lake, Central Patricia, Great Grade, Donna Lake, small but still a ripper. And then we've got Cascaminis down here. This here is a gold camp in its own right, as is that. And I'm of the opinion that there's potential to prove up a new gold camp in that area there. Now, the area I point to is called Cascaminis, and the reason why we're particularly interested in this is partly because of the amount of work that's been done, which confirms mineralisation. There's a historic resource, non-JORC, non-NI 43-101, so I can't say what it is. But it's good numbers, pretty exciting and sexy. And from a geology perspective, you look at this first vertical derivative image, and we have here a shape called a sigmoid, which is indicative of deformation which opens the rock up, which we call dilation. Now, simple analogy, gold deposits form from fluids that contain gold. The more fluids contain the gold that you can jam into the rocks, the more gold you put there. So, simple terms, big dilation means lots of fluid, which means big gold deposits. So this makes this very, very interesting. The initial exploration focused mainly on here, and there's exploration upside along strike and at depth. So we can see here some of the historic drill holes. These purple dots were done in the late 80s. Blue ones were done in 2011. And last year we did these ones here, did some fans from there. Historic resources there, but gold sniffs here, 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 out here. And we see the mineralised system as being open along strike in both directions and at depth. So we are really quite keen to develop this prospect and believe there is the potential to prove up a really substantial mineral resource here. But it's going to take quite a bit of time. It's going to take a sustained effort in which we have the support of the local community, which, to be honest, in the past has been a challenge to many people operating in Ontario. We've been very considered in our approach and building a very strong supportive relationship with the First Nation group in the area called the Mishkagogomang. And earlier this year we travelled to the community, and we are now fully supported by the Mishkagogomang, who want the project to develop and want to assist us to do so. So what we're going to be doing in the next month or two, depending upon corporate matters and timing and what have you, is going into the field there and looking at some of the drill holes, for which we have the historic records, we have the logs, and we have a great deal of confidence in the results of this drilling, because we've done some holes which effectively twinned a couple of these historic holes and resulted in assays and widths that corroborated the historical evidence. However, for us to prove up a resource, we need to be able to validate all of the holes. It's going to take a bit of time. If we're able to incorporate all the historic drilling to produce a resource that's compliant with the JORC code, then it will save us a great deal of time and money if we can incorporate all the historic drilling. And it will also assist us with planning future drill hole placements. It's not too hard to see in this image that there are gaps here, 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 which deserve attention. And of course, this is plan view, it doesn't show you depth. Essentially, the depth of testing is down to about 150 metres, a couple of deeper holes, but not much. Now, if something that's got the strike length of this in an Archean lode gold system, you can expect several hundred metres depth continuity. So we believe there's great potential there. What we're going to do is take a measured, considerate approach to make sure that we build our information in such a way that we can sustain a considered, planned drilling campaign that will maximise our results, minimise our costs in doing so, and will lead to definition of a gold deposit in minimal time. So with Dorothy Dobie, it's essentially a project in its own right. Many gold explorers would be more than happy to have a project that's several kilometres long with several good prospects in it. And we are quite excited about this. There's a couple of historic resources in there. It's a long strike from Golden Patricia and has the same mineralisation style, narrow vein but high grade. So tonsil, you've got a vein that's been tested for over 1 kilometre strike length and down to 200 metres. It's continuous, it's high grade, you've got intersections over 100 grams per tonne. Dorothy Main, 472.8 grams per tonne over half a metre. So these are the kinds of grades that are really quite exciting and lead you to consider the possibility of something like that. Now, West Pickle and South Limb are nowhere near as developed. There has been a bit of drilling done over here, and a little bit here, but it's really just confirmed that there's smoke. There is gold there, but we don't have a good sense of what the control is. There's obvious potential given it's adjacent to, and literally adjacent to Donna Lake, but we believe there's potential to find more. West Pickle, classic folded deformed biff, shear zone running through the guts of it. If that's not a gold deposit, I'd be very surprised. So with regards to the lithium deposits, we have some deposits that are really quite attractive and interesting from the perspective of having very high grade, very clean concentrate that can be produced from it. We're aware that on a scale of size of deposits that we're not at the top end, but in terms of the quality of the product that we can produce, we are. And we see that as being the opportunity to progress these projects when the spodumene price is more in line with what it was early in the year. Seymour Lake's the one that's understood most. Pegmatite dips towards the northeast. Most of the resource is comprised of that pegmatite. It's open at depth. There are potential prospects over there and off screen from this map, and we believe that we can add substantially to the tonnage. Now, in combination with the other lithium projects which have been not worked heavily in the past and haven't received much attention from Ardiden, those being the Root Lake and Visor Lake projects, we believe it's possible to prove up many orders of magnitude more lithium than we currently have on the inventory. And we see the way forward with the lithium projects as exploring some alternative pathways to production that perhaps involve the US because of their strategic imperative to secure their own supply, and also given the fact that these deposits are just across Lake Superior from Michigan and all the auto manufacturers. So we're looking at alternative ways to extract value from these projects. So, as I mentioned here, very high quality spodumene concentrate, very high grades, very low impurities, and the key is that this is first pass. This is not optimised. First pass only trial, we produce battery grade lithium carbonate. That's not optimised. This can be tweaked and get even better. Now, when you're able to do that, which well exceeds the 6% standard, although some people are trying to crawl it down to 5.5%, but let's take 6 as being what we want, this opens the door to another avenue of uses and specialist niche type applications, which for a smaller deposit is what you need to consider, along with strategic alliances and consolidation in the field. And these are all strategies that we're formulating and looking to implement in the coming months. So in summary, good projects, good place. We've got the right team to be able to do it. And, oh, there we go. We've got money. That'll keep us going for a while to be able to do something, get some results, and to confirm that we're on the right path. And that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the cash